Hello everybody, Nolan with Black Diamond Services. I am up in Arnold, California. This is kind of the mountains area. So I am essentially, except for there's some light general soil, carpet's only a year old, and some pet stains, minor pet stains. And so I'm going to be talking on this one, so if that's not your thing, I suggest checking out some of our latest videos. You can see them in our playlist, ASMR, carpet cleaning. They are heavily soiled in comparison to this one. So if that's more your thing, go check those out in that playlist, and that'll be a much more satisfying clean. But I wanted to use this one as an opportunity to kind of talk with you guys a little bit about miscellaneous stuff. So if you didn't know, or notice I should say, there is a way to directly support the channel through the little YouTube join button that you'll see by the video right beneath it, I believe. And it is a subscription type thing. From my understanding, you cancel anytime you want, or however you want to do it. It's just to directly help support this channel in another way, but it is not required at all. That is why there are ads in the videos, because that helps, support a little bit too. But if you want to be more direct and make a difference, that is the way you can do so, by becoming a member of the channel. So with that being said, as you could tell, besides this isn't the best carpet, some carpet filaments, loose fibers coming out. This rug really isn't that dirty. It's doesn't get a lot of traffic, but like I said, there's just a little bit of soiling, nothing that you visually really see. And then under UV there was a few pet stains here and there. I want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to clean for them. I'm very grateful for that. We don't advertise in this area just because it is kind of far from us as far as our service location, but if there's enough work to justify it, then we make the exception. I had somebody ask me in the comments on one of the videos if we service Brentwood or Discovery Bay area in California, and unfortunately that is a little out of our service area where we normally cover. The closest we get to you is Tracy, California. So if you happen to be seeing this, that's, still 30-45 minutes, I think, from where you're at, depending on the section you are in, if it's Brentwood or Discovery Bay. Again, if you absolutely wanted us to come over there, the only way, honestly, it makes justifiable sense is if there's plenty of work for us to do at your house. You have a lot of carpet, a lot of tile, etc. Or we unfortunately have to inflate our prices, because you drive somewhere that's an hour and a half plus away from us. There and back is bare minimum, 3 hours of driving with no work, and paying wages and stuff on that. It gets, can be expensive when you're not actually doing anything, completing any work. So that would be really the only justifiable way we can help you out. If you specifically wanted us, I apologize, I don't know anybody specifically that operates in your area. If it comes up in one of my groups, I'll try and shoot them your direction. If you want, you can email us. your information, so that way you don't have to put it publicly on YouTube. And if somebody says they service your area and they use the same steps as we do, if that's what you're looking for, then I can forward your information to them. So the email to send that to is bdservices209@gmail.com, and just say that you found us on YouTube. That way I know how to reference it. But anyways, guys, like I said, this is a pretty simple job. I actually did 8 chairs that had some spots on it. Nothing major, but most of it came right out with just neutral cleaning it, which is basically using the rinse in my rinse tank that's alkaline based. It's about an 8 pH, 8.5 pH. So I use that when like the carpet is just normal soil, to rinse out my pre-spray. But on the chairs, I neutral clean them first, because there are some spots sometimes you want to make it neutral first and then apply your spotter. And that worked on every single one of the chairs with each spot. So did 8 of those. Just the seats, the chairs were in pretty good shape. Is just the actual seats had some light spills on them, so they wanted me to take care of the seats. And then there was 2 that had a stain on the back, or the backrest. So again, our cleaning style, if you are new to the channel, consists of running a vacuum, dry soil removal, pre-treating the carpet, and we do it pre-treating on every carpet. I don't film it very often because it's a little bit of a nuisance to do so. And the reason why I don't always set up camera stand, etc., is, you're in somebody's house, you get approval to film and whatnot. If you're going to do stuff like that, where there's more in the frame than just what you guys see here. So, and I usually do it only on empty houses, because, well, there's nothing there, nothing of value, so nothing could accidentally get in the frame that shouldn't be. That's the main reason. Oh, and side note, there is one stain right there. He said he's tried to get it out. It's pink. I don't think it's going to come out. It's pretty deep in the fibers. But I spot treated it, and I'm going to rinse it, and then I'm going to try one other thing, if that doesn't work, to see if I can get that to come out, because these people know people, and I want to see if I can work some magic on that spot that I already think is permanent, because it's been worked on, so it could have already been set in to the carpet. So my goal is to see if I can get that out, because if it's not permanent and I get it out, that's going to look good, and then they'll want to use our service more often, and hopefully refer us around to friends and family. So still, as you can see, it looks like I'm clean carpet, but this was their request. Carpet is a year old, has been used, but that's the thing, you guys are used to seeing some pretty dirty carpets that I clean. When you get a new one like this and it's well kept, this is how you keep it well kept, is you keep up on it by having it professionally cleaned. Depending on the amount of people in the house or pets, can be as soon as 6 months. And there's some cases, some jobs I've done in the past in my years, where it was every 3 months. They had an oily dog, 2 adults, kids. Yeah, just, constant traffic. Maybe they entertain a lot, so lots of people coming over. So doing this, even though the carpet looks like it's fairly fresh, is going to keep it that way. And then your fibers won't break down, or your traffic wear patterns, I should say, won't show up as easy. I gotta move that little trash can. So that way it'll last longer. But of course, if it's a cheaper carpet, kind of like this one I think is, it'll probably, you know, last a decent amount of time. But still, soils act kind of like you know, sandpaper, because essentially it's sand, and when we walk over it in the traffic areas, the soils are abrading the carpet and wearing it down. So that's how you get your traffic wear, and the fibers start to open up, and that's what's causing your carpet wear. The what we call one term is carpet blooming. The fibers untwist and open up like a flower when it's blooming. So that's one saying for it. So I know this video won't be for everybody, but I figured, you know, what the heck, talk a little bit about some stuff. If you have any questions about anything, if I have the answer, I will try and answer you, at least in the comments, the best I can. Or if you think it would be cool to do some question answering in a video, you know, I would like to consider doing that at some point too. And for all those that have commented saying that you appreciate me talking about the cleaning periodically, I do appreciate that. For those that prefer, again, the ones that prefer just seeing the cleaning, there's playlists for that, and I put it in the welcome video on the channel too, discussing that. So remember, if you came to this channel in hopes of seeing that, it is there. I just don't do it on every single video. So if you come to this channel for the first time on this video, you know, you're probably going to be a little disappointed, but don't worry. Just check out the ASMR playlist, and the videos will be in there. So I've already hit all this, but just using it as an excuse to chat with you guys. Okay, so if you're cleaning, something you should look out for is, you see how that carpet was rippling? It's loose. See that? The carpet's loose. And then the other thing I noticed, all around this room and against the walls where I can get to, the padding seems to stop an inch or two before the tack strip, because my wand dips down at that point. So for whatever reason, whoever installed this didn't run the padding all the way up to the tack strip, which I've never really encountered that I can remember, and could be a problem. So when I got to the walls, I had to kind of push a little bit past it in order to get up against the baseboard area. And another contributor of this being loose could be a couple things. The low-grade carpet has a tendency to flex. The primary and secondary backing aren't as strong because they're not built as tough, and can cause it to look loose. So now I have to call or text the client and tell them about this, because it was not noticeable, until you put your wand up against the edge of the wall over there, and notice that the pad doesn't go all the way to the tack strip. And if the carpet's loose, you get it damp, it's already naturally going to expand a little bit, and therefore cause problems. So the only way you can fight it is to stretch it, obviously, so it's tighter, and that would fix the problem. But if you run into this type of thing, it's always good to tell them as soon as you can, because this may look like this right now, but sometimes when the carpet's loose, the ripples will show even more for a period of time until it dries, and then it will go back to its normal state in appearance. So if you are seeing this and you're at a job and you've never encountered it before, just know that there's probably a 99% or more chance that you didn't cause it. It's pre-existing to the carpet. It's already loose. So if you go into a room and say you grab the middle of the carpet and pull, if it flexes quite a bit, that means that carpet's loose, and there's a good chance it's going to ripple when you start cleaning it. So don't get scared. Know that this is normal in this situation when the carpet is loose. You just got to note it, and let the client know, like, hey, this is going to look a little rippled, and once it dries, it's going to go back down. I suggest the carpet gets stretched. I could also be a little wrong and be saying that the carpet just didn't get installed well. If it didn't get power stretched, from my understanding, I'm not a carpet stretcher. These are just things that I've heard and seen done. If it wasn't power stretched properly and set down, it could also, already be loose, and so therefore the client is getting a bad install. So my guess of it being more of a weaker carpet is just because of those filaments that showed up after running the CRB. Weaker carpets, weaker construction have a tendency to have those filaments pop out, and it's only a year-old carpet, so that's why I'm thinking that's probably the case. It's just a weaker construction carpet, and it's, with the traffic it's had on it, it's already loosening up and causing a problem. So that would be the first thing I check. Was this a lower grade carpet? That's probably the case, because installers that I know have said that. They're getting calls like, hey, the carpet's loose, what's going on? It's only a year old or less. And it's the cheap carpets have a tendency to do that, even if it was stretched right and put down right. So those are the two things you got to look for. It's not always the company that installed it. Sometimes it's just a cheap carpet. So hopefully that information helps you. Alright guys, so I wanted to do a little bit of the perimeter so you could see the difference. So it is actually a little dirty. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Like I said earlier, it's a year-ish old, they said. A lot can be done in a year, but it is fairly well kept, from what I can tell. But it is dirty and did need to be cleaned. The thing is you don't want to wait until it looks dirty, because if you got a carpet or tile or whatever that kind of hides the dirt, you don't want to wait until you notice. If a year has passed by, it's probably time to get it done. Unless you're the only person in the house and you vacuum 2-3 times a week. Then you could probably extend it out to 18 months and be okay. But in this case, there's more people in the house, so having it done a little more frequently is beneficial. So remember to take that into consideration. Just because it doesn't look dirty, it doesn't mean it isn't. It'll take a little bit more, in most cases, to show that appearance than you would think. that's what it looks like even after running the CRB and pre-spray. So it definitely needed the attention. So let me know in the comments, is there a subject that pertains to cleaning that you'd want me to talk about? If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you've probably heard most of what I've spoke about. Most of it is the basic concepts for cleaning carpets and what I do for each rug. So on this one, like I mentioned earlier, there is some pet stains, so I am using an organic stain remover that's meant for pet urine. And then because it's only kind of lightly soiled, I am still using an enzyme-based pre-spray that has some citrus in it. Just because of the pet stains. Generally, whenever I run into that urine jobs, I stick to the enzyme pre-spray after treating the pet stains. So the only time I really changed it is if the soil load outweighs the urine stains, how many. So if it's extremely soiled, and say somebody use this one for an example, only a few stains, I would switch my pre-spray to something stronger for soil, but still first pre-treat the urine stains to let those break down, and then I would use my alkaline rinse, neutralizing rinse, for the heavy soil load type jobs. But if it's a carpet like this, and let's just say it has a lot of urine stains, I would switch my rinse to a acidic neutralizing rinsing agent. And the reason why is urine is an alkaline salt when it dries, so it's better to use an acid rinse when you're dealing with that. Whereas soils, most of them in the United States are acidic based. Acidic based. So that means you use an alkaline to suspend the soils. So that's why you use high pH cleaners in a professional manner to remove soil from the carpet. And the reason why a CRB or some kind of mechanical agitation is needed, I can use the example of when you wash your hair. When you put soap in your hair, what do you do before you rinse it out? You actually scrub your hair, don't you? You're working the shampoo into your hair, right? And then you rinse it out. So that's kind of why the CRB is necessary in carpet cleaning, in my opinion. It's kind of a similar concept. You apply the treatment, shampoo, in that sense, or a professional manner, the pre-spray, and then you mechanically scrub it, which helps get it into the fibers, also loosening the soils, and then you rinse it out like I'm doing right now. So that's going to be about it for this one. As you can see, it did need it. Was it horrible? No, but it did need a cleaning. So I wanted to show that to you guys, but also talk a little bit about random stuff. So hopefully this video is useful to you guys. Again, let me know in the comments what you think, opinions, questions. I will do my best to answer them. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.